Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody listening. The most wonderful day of the year.
Yes, my favorite holiday.
My favorite public holiday.
I hope everyone's just in love and having.
I hope everyone's having a super sexy day.
Yeah, I hope you're having the sexiest romance-filled day
you possibly could, filled with aphrodisiacs.
There's nothing better than an oyster on Valentine's Day.
Amen. Slurp it down, baby.
So for Valentine's Day, Annabel and I thought that we would watch a few, or a couple, if you will, lovely little rom-coms that we personally love.
We each picked our favorite rom-com of all time, perhaps. Obviously, things are subject to change, whatever. I'm incredibly indecisive, but I'm pretty happy with my choice.
And also, there are so many movies that could have been picked otherwise, but I felt as though maybe they were in a different category than just your classic rom-com.
For sure. It's also so tough because what a competitive category.
There's just so many good movies.
So many good movies. I do, in fact, have a pussy on my bed.
Oh, is that what that is? I can't see a thing.
I'm trying to
see your
actively
hand stroking the
bat
side
her out
of
of
the
the way
camera.
from closing my laptop.
I'm assuming it's Kaneki.
It is Kaneki. Izzy wouldn't
Kaneki
go near me.
Is always just causing mayhem in your room.
Absolutely. Pussy wrestling up a storm.
I miss her.
But she's here and she's seated and she's ready to talk.
Good. What movie is she here to talk about?
Kaneki?
Which one did you pick?
Garfield?
I can literally see your camera shaking because Kaneki is clearly
she's
messing
literally
with it.
nuzzling it.
That is so funny.
So cute.
But no, so we are going to go chronological with these, which means we are starting with my favorite rom-com that I chose for this video and podcast episode.
And Ben, what is it?
Which is the 1999 classic rom-com.
Absolute masterpiece.
Called Notting Hill.
Amen.
Starring none other than Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. This is, I feel like, one of the just blueprints for rom-coms.
Oh, absolutely. Also, the blueprint for so much AU fan fiction, may I just say.
I won't lie, I don't even know what you're talking about or how that relates.
Alternate universe fan fiction?
Okay.
So, you take characters from any show or whatever. Say you're picking Glee. I don't know. Say someone picked Glee.
Weird.
And then, Rachel would be a famous actress, and Finn would be a little bookshop owner.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So it'd be fan fiction of, Harry Potter, but the characters are in the plot of Notting Hill.
Absolutely. Hermione's made it big. Harry's amongst the stacks. No comment.
Okay.
That may or may not be how I was originally introduced to the setup of this movie.
Is that true?
That is true.
That's wild.
Yeah. Because I didn't watch this till high school. Mid-high school. I want to say 2014.
I feel like... I mean, I didn't watch it in 1999, that's for sure.
That's insane. What were you doing at 2? And you call this your favorite movie, your favorite rom-com.
I haven't been an OG. It's just...
Oh my god, you were watching American Beauty. A lot came out that year. You were busy.
Honestly, 1999 was a good year for movies.
American
Pie.
I was
preoccupied.
Yeah, you were booked and busy.
Although, I did find out this movie did get 3 Golden Globe nominations.
Did it?
It did.
I've not done my research for mine. What?
For a musical or comedy.
Oh my god.
I know. Is that not crazy?
That's insane. Also, Notting Hill would kind of make a killer musical. That's irrelevant.
Oh my god.
But I feel like that would kill it. Literally, if Pretty Woman the musical is on stage, put Julia Roberts' next greatest work, Notting Hill, on there
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I think the world needs it.
I'd love to see.
But the other 2 that nominations they got were for Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant, Best Actor and Best Actress.
Apt, as they should.
Is that not insane?
That's insane
to you? Because it's insane to me. It's actually crazy to me.
I'm gobsmacked.
But I love that. Whoa. I think that's amazing.
Later, I'm going to need you to do a Google search for me to see if it was nominated for anything.
Gladly.
Thank you so much.
But so Annabelle and I sat down pretty recently and we watched Notting Hill together.
We did last night, in fact.
It was, in fact, last night.
Yes.
And what a night it was. I had such a good time.
I loved it.
I'll give a little rundown of what this movie is basically about. For those of you who haven't seen this movie, which
Are there people out there who haven't?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's not a world where people haven't seen Notting Hill, but I'm sure those people exist, and I know they're listening.
I wonder if Clemmy Crawford has seen it.
Clemmy Crawford, write in the comments right now. Have you seen Notting Hill?
Let us know that you're listening.
Or message us.
You're blocked for me, so unfortunately I might receive it.
So Notting Hill is about this... I almost said lowly, which makes it sound horrible. He's not lowly.
No, he's got a lovely... He's living in Notting Hill. He can't be that bad off.
He's living in Notting Hill. He owns a travel bookstore.
What a niche store, may I just say.
Who's shopping there?
No, not... Apparently, celebrities.
Apparently, celebrity Anna Scott, played by Julia Roberts, comes into his store and they meet multiple times with, like... very awkward interactions, essentially. Yes. And it just comes to the point where she like invites him. There's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of romance, and if you couldn't guess, they fall in love.
What?
I know.
That's crazy. On Valentine's Day?
It's wild. I don't know why they would do that. But yeah, it's your classic. Like we said, it wrote the blueprint, so
Absolutely.
It is basically what every rom-com that you might have seen follows. They have their split. There's always that moment where they aren't together.
Some conflict.
Their conflict, they end up not together, and then there's that big, beautiful scene at the end that brings them back together, and that happens.
And she's just a girl
standing
in front of a boy.
She's just a girl standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her. So why don't we just talk about this? What are your overall thoughts of Notting Hill, Annabelle?
Okay, well, I'm being very bold. I haven't even opened my notes. But overall thoughts, I love Notting Hill. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I feel like if I'd watched it even earlier, I feel like it could be a 10 for me, you know?
What did you give it?
A 9.
A 9. Okay, yeah. Love that.
Incredibly solid.
I did give it a 10, yes.
Yes. Shocker. That would be crazy if our favorite rom-com didn't get a perfect score.
I'm like, I gave it a 7, actually.
But it's the best rom-com ever made. I hate romance. Keep them apart. That's why we like La La Land. But yeah, no, love it. Classic story. Like plot, immaculate. Love.
Yeah,
is it predictable? Yeah. Do I care? No. I don't want...
What rom-com isn't predictable?
I don't want a rom-com to be boggling the mind.
Yeah.
I'm not out here to watch Inception.
I'm not here to Google the plot afterwards.
Absolutely not. I don't want an ending that's open to interpretation. I don't need that.
No.
I want to go into it knowing they're going to end up happily together and that I'm along for the ride and you've got some great actors with palpable chemistry.
That's
all I'm asking for.
Such a big thing for me, though, is the chemistry needs to be there or else I'm not going to believe this movie.
So true.
And the chemistry also, is there.
The chemistry is off the charts. They're both really hot, so that really helps as well.
Yeah, that does. When was the last time that you watched Notting Hill?
That's such a good question. I want to say at least like 5 years ago.
Wow. Whoa. Okay. It has been quite a bit of time for you.
Yeah, I'd say like 2019-ish.
Wow. Mine was
10 days before we watched it. I checked on Letterboxd.
Was it 10 days?
Yes. It was January 17th. We watched it on January 27th. Because the 2 reviews I've liked on Letterboxd are both yours within 10 days of each other, under 2 weeks.
That's why when we were doing this, you were like, I mean, like, we can choose something different. I was like, I don't mind watching it again.
You're like, I'm there.
It's fine.
I'm
down. So I would love to start out by comparing this to what it's based off of.
What's it based off?
That beautiful film, Christmas in Notting Hill.
The OG, we have to give credit Christmas in Notting Hill 2023 starring Sarah Ramos and Peter
That guy
Pevensey.
from Narnia.
Yeah, Peter Pevensey, right? That's the character? Yeah.
It is.
Pensy? Pevensey. Sorry.
I don't know. I
Sorry
haven't
to
seen
the
that movie in
wardrobers.
so long.
Neither have I.
I
Tilda
wanna rewatch
Swinton,
it.
hottie with a power.
I want to really rewatch the Narnia movies.
Honestly, podcast?
Podcast episode rewatching the Narnia movies. I haven't seen them since like I was a kid.
Revisiting
so-
Narnia. Yeah, neither have I. I think the last one I saw was the most recent one at the movies.
So it's been a while.
It's been a
maybe a
while.
little revisiting Narnia movies. That'd be
Would
so
love to.
fun.
So fun.
But that came out this last year?
Yeah, the most recent Christmas that has just passed.
And it is
Crazy,
a gender
same
bent
plot.
Notting Hill.
Notting Hill is a gender bent Christmas in Notting Hill. You've got
You're so right.
a normal female American
Yes.
And-
who meets a soccer player.
who meets a famous soccer player, and then maybe they fall in love, maybe they don't. I don't know. Watch the movie.
I'm not gonna lie, Christmas in Notting Hill killed.
It did kill. It killed a lot more than it had the right to.
Is it actually a Lifetime movie, or does it just give Lifetime
It's a
movie?
Lifetime movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because Sarah Ramos announced it and was like, "It is my lifetime honor to be a part of this
Amazing.
network." Like she's wanted,
No.
she's been gunning for it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But
Or
like
maybe it's
when
Hallmark.
you have
It's one of them.
when you have the literal plot of Notting Hill, like
How can you go wrong? That one did get no advertising though, and it deserved better.
so everybody watch Notting Hill and then go watch Christmas.
Watch Christmas in Notting Hill and then go watch.
Yeah, you need to watch the original
Watch
first.
the
what am I
spin-off.
thinking?
Yeah.
But I feel like with watching these movies that you and I watched together,
Yes.
it's sort of like everything I wrote down is just kind of crazy random stuff.
Absolutely, me too.
Which I think is okay to talk about because who hasn't seen this movie?
Who
you know?
hasn't seen it? Also, like, we're going to be able to read our psychotic little notes and understand it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true too. Because
Especially because we know our respective movies so well. If I say something crazy and outlandish that I don't get, you'll be like, oh, it's 24 minutes and 34 seconds in.
and vice versa,
Yeah.
you will easily. I'm sure there's something from your movie that I am not remembering what my note is about, but we'll find out.
I'll be on top of it. We'll find out. Live
I would-
podcasting.
I think the most important thing to bring up right now is
Misha Barton.
that is not what I was going to say, but that is
So sorry.
quite possibly the most mind-blowing part of rewatching this movie.
Insane. Before we rewatched it, we Googled, like, who was in it? As one does. And you'd seen it 10 days earlier and didn't clock it. But Star of England, Misha Barton, who's come up recently on the pod, Star of St. Trinians, My Queen of England, Misha Barton.
We're actually just watching all of
Misha
Barton's
Barton's
films.
filmography. Next, all 4 seasons of the OC. Well, 3, she gets killed off.
Spoilers.
So sorry. She's just in it as a child. Crazy.
She plays Julia Roberts' co-star in a movie that
Yeah.
Hugh Grant interviews as a joke.
Yes, but no,
and
sorry.
honestly, she's so
Yes.
funny in it.
She's so funny. She's
I-
worked with Leonardo DiCaprio, Italian star of film.
Italian director.
Italian
Leonardo
director,
DiCaprio,
yeah.
Yes. Because he thought it was Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, silly little Hugh. Silly little foppish Hugh.
I cannot believe that Misha Barton is in this movie.
That was insane, but I'm so sorry for derailing your train of thought.
No.
What is the
oh my
one
God.
thing?
I feel like going off of Misha Barton, we should just talk about these crazy
The
cameos,
crazy
that are
cameos?
in this movie.
Because there are cameos aplenty. I mean, already you've got a stellar cast
Yeah.
in Julia and Hugh. 2 of the biggest people in rom-coms at the time.
Yep.
And still to this day, we've got rom-com Ticket to Paradise. We've got rom-com Wonka.
I was gonna say, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of.
Rom-com Paddington too.
Rom-com, the name of that damn movie I cannot remember.
Oh,
without
Operation
Rapunzel.
Fortune.
Operation Fortune.
Honestly, kind of. He hits on her.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
It's
so they're
unwanted,
both
but
still rom-com stars.
Still rom-com stars.
Which is great.
As they should be. But and you've also got like Emma Chambers, Alice from Vicar of Dibley, for any Vic heads listening at home.
I don't think there are any.
I'll be the only one who slaughters.
Yeah.
We've got. I actually couldn't name another main
So
character
there's
who's
like
famous.
Rhys Ifan as his roommate. He's like kind of famous. I
Spike,
feel like
yeah.
all of the like minor
Are
characters
like English famous?
are like English famous.
Oh,
They're like
yeah, the guy who asks Julia Roberts what she does for a living. I've seen him in so much stuff. I just don't know his
same
name.
with so his paralyzed friend, who's not paralyzed in real life,
His able-bodied friend
a representation.
who has a whole sob story about how she's disabled and should like win
She has to be
the trauma
carried
dump.
upstairs.
Yeah, and
all
how
this.
her life's the hardest.
Well, she's pretty known.
She's known.
She's been in a bit as well. So like they're all recognizable people.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
On top of that, there's Emily Mortimer,
Jump scare.
absolute English star Emily
No,
Mortimer.
absolutely. But she's in it for such a short amount of time.
She
And
plays.
you're not expecting her.
Her character's name is Perfect Girl.
And she is.
She is the perfect girl, but
Well
for some reason
cast.
she's just not the girl for Hugh.
No.
And that's the issue.
So much so that she doesn't get her name.
She doesn't even get a name.
No.
But
As women should.
she has like one scene and she's
the perfect girl. She's perfect at it, actually.
I mean, I guess this one's not essentially like a cameo as the next person is.
Yeah.
Because she was not famous really much at the time. This was
That
like
is-
one of
yeah,
her first movies.
it's just one of her, like,
So-
yeah, establishing
It's
resume
lovely to
builders.
look back and see that Emily Mortimer has come so far
Absolutely.
since this little scene in Notting Hill.
Emily Mortimer and Misha Barton were starting off on the same foot.
That's sad to me.
One had a better career than the other. It's fine. Emily caught up.
That's true.
Yeah.
However, the crazy cameo that is not even in the credits, an uncredited
I was
cameo.
so shocked when this hotel room door opened.
And who
To
do we
reveal.
see? Murderer Alec Baldwin.
Killer of a woman, Alec Baldwin. Loose gunman, Alec Baldwin.
Slippery fingered Alec Baldwin.
Roaming criminal, Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin's in this movie
Yeah.
as Julia Roberts' American
As someone I want to.
boyfriend.
Yeah, he sucks.
He does suck. He's an ass.
He's elitist, he's classist, he's probably a misogynist. He
he
kind of
treats
gives
Julia
that he would...
horribly too.
He does.
Well, no, that's the thing. He doesn't really treat Julia horribly. He's just like not nice to her.
But he says the like stereotypically misogynist, like, come over
Yeah.
here, babe, like stuff like that. Like,
He's just not like a
he's
nice
no
guy.
Hugh Grant.
Which is exactly what you need in a rom-com. If we're going to
Absolutely.
follow the formula, he's
Yeah.
got to be there.
If he was equally as viable a choice as Hugh Grant, what's the movie?
No, that's not a movie.
No, that's potentially my movie.
That's potentially
coming up.
anyone but you.
You're right.
Because I feel like both of the guys in that movie that Sydney Sweeney is like fighting over aren't
You're actually so right.
horrible. Like neither one of them are bad.
If she ended up with Darren Barnett, great movie.
it would have been fine.
Great life.
Yeah.
It's
So
yeah.
maybe we're breaking the formulas in 2023. but
Maybe. And I'd say let's go back to the mold that shaped us.
it worked.
I'm not here
You
for a
can't-
complicated gray area.
Exactly. Don't mess with perfection.
Amen.
But yeah, Alec Baldwin's in this movie. So the cast goes crazy. The cameos
Absolutely
go
insane.
crazy.
Absolutely insane.
It skyrocketed 2 celebrities, Misha Barton and
Misha
Emily
Barton and
Mortimer.
Emily Mortimer. This is their ground floor.
But okay, so
What was the one thing that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I'll go back to that.
Yes.
The one thing that I feel like we need to talk about is the little piece of you that's in this movie.
What little piece of me is in this movie?
The bench.
You are so right. I forgot that I'm here representing a whole country. Sometimes I forget the important role I play in public relations. So, allegedly, this movie originally was supposed to star Nicole Kidman, but she was passed on because she wasn't talented. Academy Award winner Nicole Kidman didn't
I
make
need
the
to
cut.
look at her filmography in
Prior to this?
1999 because
Yeah.
like what was she doing at that time that they had seen and were like, no, we can't have her.
Flooding was
She's
like
not talented.
95, 96, right? So it was early.
like it was definitely early in like her, but she was big.
Yeah. She was big enough to be considered for a part that Julia Roberts got, so she'd have to be pretty.
Clearly, yeah. The way that, oh, there it is. Okay, acting credits. Let me just. Oh, I have clicked on this page before. That makes sense.
Shocking.
Okay, well, interestingly enough, she was in The Hours 3 years later.
Oh, 3 years later.
So 1999, a little bit before that, was when she was in Practical Magic.
Oh, yeah. Sandy?
To Die For.
Yeah, okay. She was racking up those credits. But this also would have been before that because they wouldn't have come out yet when they were filming the movie.
And right after Notting Hill was Moulin Rouge.
Never heard of it.
I know, me neither. So I don't know who they were watching, but it wasn't my Nicole Kidman. I'd love to
have a word with the casting director.
Was not my Nicole Kidman.
What a choice. But so they famously passed on her. But ironically, the bench that
don't worry, Australia made its way into the movie.
Australia got revenge, got its comeuppance. I'd like to think Nicole was like spearheading this exchange.
You're so right. She had to be.
She had to be. The bench that they sit on in the park, that the park that they break into and kiss for the. Do they kiss on that bench?
I think it's the third time.
It's the third time she forces herself on him.
Yes.
That bench now famously resides in Perth, Australia, in Western Australia, in the middle of a park.
Yeah, a park that is closed at night.
Similarly closed to the public. Yeah.
It was apparently bought at an auction by somebody for a relationship that failed. And so the person had then just donated it to the city of Perth.
That's a crazy story.
And it lives there.
But isn't that kind of our Statue of Liberty? I feel.
Wow. You are so... It's better than Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty wishes. The French gave you guys like a tin green woman. We got the bench where Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts should have made love.
Yeah, but, you're so right.
Yeah. That's historic.
We should be so lucky.
We should be so lucky. So if you're in Western Australia, check it out.
Check it out. Send a picture. I want to go.
I would love to go. We should. That's insane.
I know, it's crazy. But yeah, Nicole Kidman definitely had to have her hand in that because that's
absolutely
wild. Yeah. Some of the critiques I had of this movie.
Critiques.
One of the big critiques for me is it happens a little bit, but Anna Scott is supposed to be this tremendous movie star.
Yes.
That is just in everything. Everybody knows who she is. Like, she's made it overseas. Like, she's American and she's famous in England.
She's so famous in England.
You're telling me that this insanely famous woman is walking around Notting Hill a lot with no security and nobody with her.
Yeah,
and
just happens to stumble into a travel bookshop.
And on top of that, nobody's like asking for her autograph or her photo.
No.
I don't believe it. I'm not buying it.
Are they supposed to be like, English culture's really chill? Is that
I'm sorry, I'd be stopping Anna Scott on the street. But I guess it's because I'm not English.
Yeah, you wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't understand.
I just I don't get it. I feel like she would 100% be stopped on the street at least once.
That's very true.
The only instance we really get is when those men are in the dinner, the restaurant talking about her. That's like it.
And also like when she comes to his sister's birthday dinner.
Yeah, but that's like her going somewhere and then being recognized versus like somebody just passing her on the street.
Yeah.
And I did notice it because I clocked it and then I was watching, and there are moments where she is in public and people are like turning their heads like to look at her as if she is a celebrity.
Okay, the extras
so there is
were
a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like she's a little too famous to not have like security at least or something.
Excellent point. Yeah, the fact that he has to go through so many hoops to try and interview her. Yet she can just roam the streets at her leisure. Or even like when she's later in the film hiding out once her little nudes get leaked in Hugh's place, I feel like no one's that eager to hunt her down, agent-wise or like publicist-wise. They call eventually.
You're so right.
Like, where's her team being like, babe, leave the apartment?
They contact her to get her out of the apartment.
Yeah.
But they don't contact her
later.
about her nudes being leaked.
Yeah. She's like, I have
You're
nowhere
so
else to go.
right.
I'm like, talk to your team, talk to your peer.
Yeah, she's got a PR. We've seen her, the PR woman.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You're so right. I didn't even think about that.
That's my little question.
We've got Hugh Grant, the original horse girl.
Amen. Horse and Hound.
Horse and Hound. I need to read this magazine.
I need to. That is such a funny scene.
That's one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
In it, in order to try and see her again, he has to lie and say he's from some kind of magazine publication to try and interview her about a new movie. And the lie he goes with is that he's from Horse and Hound magazine. So then just tries to ask her all of these horse adjacent questions that have nothing to do with her movie set in space.
And it's phenomenal.
So good.
And it does make a reappearance at the end of the film.
Yes.
Horse and Hound comes back and he is still working for them.
He kept his job.
Never quit.
Never quit. He perseveres. Well, he needs to make money on the side somehow from his travel bookshop.
From the bookshop that's probably making $0.
You're telling me that from that he could afford an apartment in Notting Hill?
Yeah, no way.
No.
And you did bring this up, but that birthday dinner scene is just
incredible.
It is my favorite scene because it is the most, like, it humanizes her so much.
Absolutely. Like, she's a vegetarian, but then she doesn't want to make a fuss, so she just kind of like chills with the meat and doesn't say anything. She contributes to conversation. She's humble.
It
Cute.
makes her very, like, relatable, even though she's this famous actress, and it's
who
just
earned
like,
$50 million on her last film.
So made $50 million for Notting Hill too. Crazy. But
insane.
I just think that is the best scene in the whole movie. I love it so much.
It's so good. Also, the late great Emma Chambers is so funny.
She is so funny in this movie.
I love her.
She would be absolutely slaughtering the movie scene right now.
She would.
She hadn't passed.
I know.
It's so sad.
Miss her.
But yeah, I love that scene, and that is her scene to shine. Speaking of Emma Chambers and Honey as a character, hate that she ends up with Spike.
Yes. So Spike, Hugh's roommate, who probably called the paparazzi and leaked that Anna Scott was staying in the apartment.
And has really dirty feet that you get to see the bottom of about 6 times. It's the Dan Schneider of dirty feet.
Yeah, he also has all of these shirts, which are like really funny. But at the beginning, like all of these like misogynistic little gross shirts. Funny for a character, not good enough for Emma Chambers to end up with.
And don't fit on his body.
Why does he wear shirts that are 5 sizes too small for him, and most of which are made for women?
He's just slimy and gross, and I don't understand why
tried
they
to sleep
would
with Julia
put
Roberts at
Honey
one point. Yeah.
I don't get why they would put Honey with him at the end.
So randomly as well. Like, it's
It
unnecessary.
comes out of nowhere.
She's just like, oh, it's you I'm talking about. I want to marry. Like, ew,
So,
no, baby girl.
You know what? So I did read that this film was originally 3.5 hours. And
director's cut.
They cut it out. 90 minutes of the movie were cut. So perhaps in that 90 minutes, there is an establishing relationship between Honey and Spike, which would make it more...
It would make it more sense, but if you're going to cut out all of the establishing moments leading up to it, then cut out that little tiny bit, because it didn't add anything to the movie.
Yeah, that whole like scene where she like basically proposes to him is unnecessary. We could get rid of it.
Absolutely. And I feel like they just put the characters together because they're both like the quirky side characters.
That's exactly what it is. Even though she is a quirky side character, and
but she's
is almost
lovely.
a villain.
And no, quite truly, he sabotages the whole thing. The like third downfall of Anna and William's relationship is all due to Spike.
Yeah, it really is. So I don't see a world where I'm like, you should date his sister.
Amen. I agree.
But yeah, do you have anything else that you want to like mention about this movie?
Yes. These are like little critiques, but also it's the 90s and it's a rom-com. It's not that deep. But I feel like all of the reasons that their relationship failed are fully her fault. 100%.
Yeah.
But also love her.
they are fully her fault, but also when you watch their arguments and their conversations about it, he says some things that like
For sure.
are not the best, which is it kind of makes it both their fault in a way. She starts it all.
She does, especially at the beginning when she's just like outright cheating on him, or like starts the relationship while she has a boyfriend. But when the paparazzi come and she like has a freak out, is that unfounded? Is that an overreaction? Yeah, for sure. But then he's like, just like, it's not that big a deal, just have a cup of tea. So it's kind of like minimizing how she's feeling, so I get that.
Yeah.
And then my note about him is just like, he actually quite truly does not have a personality on the page.
You're so right.
In the script, it's just like, he's no one. She treads all over him. He's just waiting around. But it's Hugh Grant. So is he charismatic? Do I love him? Is he great? Yes. Because of Hugh.
That's exactly what it is. Hugh Grant gives a little bit of life to the character, albeit not much. Like,
not as much as some of his
Hugh
other
Grant,
little Hugh Grant characters.
But it's Hugh Grant, so it's enjoyable, and I still root for the character because it's Hugh Grant.
Absolutely. Agreed.
But I don't, I was gonna say I don't dislike him, but you're so right. He's definitely, if it was played by anybody else,
Boring,
I
blank
would
piece of
probably
paper.
not root for the relationship.
Yeah, no. We need the little, like, awkward, quirky, funny, witty Hugh Grant in there.
Yeah.
Agreed. Do you have any, like, final comments about why this is your favorite rom-com?
I don't. I think, that's such a good question. I think that this is my favorite rom-com because it, as I have said many times, is one of the like original rom-coms.
Absolutely.
And it, for a reason, like it has everything, every rom-com past it has probably taken from this movie in one way or another. And it shows because everybody has been trying to recreate I'm just a girl scene.
I'm just a girl.
And nobody will ever touch it. Like, that's the thing.
So true.
It's iconic, and it's fun. It's funny. I laugh out loud, like, genuinely. And they have incredible chemistry, and...
Absolutely.
I would love to watch it tonight. Literally. Let's watch it tonight.
Let's do it. Third time's the charm. In 11 days.
Let's move on to your little Valentine's Day movie.
Okay. So we may be seeing a similar kind of vibe, a similar cast even. Because
also close in years.
Close in region.
Yeah?
Yeah. So my favorite rom-com is Bridget Jones' Diary of 2001. Ah, what a film. Starring Princess of England, Renee Zellweger.
My favorite English actress.
My favorite English actress after Joey King, Renee Zellweger.
Oh my god. How could I forget?
That's why I said she's the princess, because the queen is Joey King.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant, again. Colin Firth, love of my life.
Love of your life, yes.
Yeah, and then you've also got like a Shirley Henderson.
Yeah, that's the other thing. This one's got the minor characters go crazy.
Oh, the friends, so funny. I also can't remember her name for the life of me, but the woman from Miranda.
Yeah.
Who's also in Notting Hill very briefly, but I didn't actually clock her when we watched it last night.
I actually didn't clock her either.
On Amazon, her name came up on the side, but I was like, where is she? She must be like an extra.
Jim Broadbent is in it as well.
Yes, so true, as her dad.
Sally Phillips.
That's why I can't remember it, because it's just a generic name.
Yeah, that's two first names almost.
I would never be in contact with someone who has two first names.
Yeah, me neither.
I absolutely not. Get them out. But no, cast goes absolutely nuts. Mm-hmm. Also, just such a funny little rom-com that's also full of chemistry.
Tell us what it's about.
Absolutely. So it is loosely based on Pride and Prejudice.
So loosely that I literally didn't even pick up that.
Yes.
After watching it twice.
Yes. hence probably the Colin Firth casting. But it's also based on a book by the same name that my mum has read and she loves. And apparently it's a faithful movie adaptation. But Bridget is in her 30s and she's kind of like down on herself, loves a little drink, writes in her diary all the time. She's looking for love. She's feeling a bit lonely. She's single. She's living in an apartment by herself. She's working as a journalist at this little publication. And so her mom tries to set her up with this guy whose mom she knows called Mark Darcy. Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy.
If you will. They meet at a curry buffet Christmas dinner, and he immediately is a bit stuck up and is like, ew, like, no, I'm not gonna talk to her. She's an alcoholic spinster. Like, absolutely not. So then she's like, okay, Mark Darcy, you're dead to me, and starts getting it on, being kind of into her sexy, sexy boss, Hugh Grant, who is an absolute womanizer, but is also like incredibly charming. Then it turns out that Mark Darcy actually doesn't suck, and that we like humanize him, and that he's actually kind of like nice. He's just like a lawyer and uptight, but once you go beneath the surface, he's a nice guy. And Hugh Grant actually sucks. It's crazy. You don't know who to root for. There are two sexy men, and she's torn.
It's
dream.
Your classic enemies to lovers.
Amen.
Yeah. Funny movie.
Funny movie. Very funny. Renee Zellweger slaughters.
I think this is her best performance I've seen.
Give her the Oscar for this. She's got two.
Yeah.
Both of them should be for this.
Judy Garland who? I'm sorry. I only know Bridget Jones.
Roxy Hart who? We give her an Oscar for Bridget Jones and Bridget Jones' Edge of Glory.
She's phenomenal in this. This is truly
so
the best
good.
I've seen her, I think.
Yes. Honestly, everyone is. I love Colin in it. I love Hugh in it. It's so good. I'm going to start referring to my notes. Have you got any?
Yeah, sure. I think right off the gate, she really goes into this, like, I don't know if this is said, but it's sort of like she's not in a relationship. She's single. She's been single.
She cries a lot to All by Myself by Celine Dion.
Boyfriend?
I don't think they mention it.
I don't think they mention ever having an ex or
Yeah.
anything. And if that were the case, absolutely insane that she's never had a boyfriend and suddenly two of like the hottest rom-com boys are fighting for her.
It's giving Kaya from The Marsh, who grew up completely alone,
so right.
and then two
Illiterate
sexy
Kaya.
men come to her marsh. Illiterate bombshell Kaya.
Illiterate bombshell.
Never seen another human being, immediately gets two boyfriends.
And one of them teaches her how to read.
One of them teaches her how to read, and the other one mates her.
Was that inspired by Bridget Jones' Diary?
Pride and Prejudice and Bridget Jones' Diary. My favorite rom-com, Where the Crawdads Sing.
I'm just like, I'm sorry. How you've never had a boyfriend, or like you're crying
and now
about
everyone's
being alone
fighting
all the
over
time.
you, quite literally
now,
fighting in the streets over you to It's Raining Men.
And it's Colin Firth and Hugh Grant. It's not just anybody.
It's my dream man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn,
I'm not buying it.
Lies. No, that's so true. That's actually, I never really thought about that. I just assumed like surely she'd had a little boyfriend, but maybe not.
They never mention it. I had tried to see if they would, and I just didn't find anything. So
there we go. Who knows? Oh, this is one of like my big notes. If Hugh Grant was played by anybody else, his character is like a total pervert, misogynist, HR nightmare. There's no way he would be remotely likable.
Unredeemable.
Like every single line he says is quite truly revolting and disgusting, but because he says it in a charming little way, you're like, oh my god, Hugh. You're like, I get it. I get why she would have to give him a go.
I kid you not.
Roll around in the hay.
My literal note says, Hugh Grant makes me sick, but it's Hugh Grant.
So true.
It's like he's so charismatic that I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Which is masterful casting. Because if there was anyone else, you'd be like, what are you doing? Like, you'd be so annoyed by her.
Yeah, you'd
For
be like,
choosing this.
He's disgusting. Like, don't ever speak to
Yeah.
him again. But
Instead,
you
I'm
can
like, yeah, me too.
so obviously tell that this is 2001 because
Of all of
in
the dialogue.
what world is Renee Zellweger
Oh,
fat?
the, like, fat shaming is crazy in this movie.
Crazy for the fact that she is literally, like...
And you know, she had to gain weight for this movie. Like, it was a full thing. Yeah.
That's what you said, which is also crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the weight?
She was like, I'm being dedicated. I'm, like, gaining a lot of weight for this movie. And then she did it for the second one. And then for the third one, she was like, I can't do it again. I'm, like, ruining my body. And I was like, I hate Hollywood.
The fat-phobic Hollywood jokes were
insane.
horrible.
They
It's
are
insane.
very, like, in the I mean, it's kind of in the movie too, but apparently in the book, in the diary, like, every entry begins with, like, a weight check-in because she keeps thinking that she's really fat.
Oh my gosh.
But I think it's, like, mainly supposed to be in her head, like, just because, like, everyone's insecure or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's also validated by people outside.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because, like, they make
The American
jokes
from the
about
New York
it, too.
office, who,
Yeah.
it's mainly other women who talk about her weight.
Of course it is. That's
Yeah.
like, that's one of my notes is like,
That's your
all the
letterboxd
men
review.
suck, but all the women suck.
Yeah, no, literally every single woman was like, "Oh, I thought like you said she was thin."
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
like it's so crazy what some men are into, like stuff like that.
She's
I'm
not
like,
a girl's girl.
not a girl's girl. Every woman that either Hugh Grant or Colin Firth date, not girls' girls.
No, they are dicks.
Yeah. Amen. No, it's insane.
Yeah.
2001 was crazy.
That's the thing. It's of the times, you know.
Yeah.
So
Glad I was 3 then, and only 3.
you weren't writing fat shaming jokes.
No. If anyone fat shamed me at 3, Jesus. Go to hell.
Oh my gosh.
But no, that's so true. Oh yeah, this is a note that you said while we were watching it, but the woman from the New York office, Lisa Rinna, she wanted to get caught.
She wanted to get caught. Okay, so
She was
in
putting
the
on a
movie,
little yes.
Hugh Grant is dating Renee Zellweger. Like, they are a couple, and he...
Official. In fact, the night before he leaves, she says that she loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is very distraught over something that happens that day, and she goes over to his house.
Yeah.
And
Because she went to a Tots and Vickers party dressed as a bunny, and then it turns out
Yes.
that the theme was nixed, and so she was just in lingerie a la Elle Woods 2001 classic,
Yeah.
dressed as a sexy bunny. Goes to Hugh for support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hugh is sort of like rushing her out of the house.
Yeah.
Only for her to notice a woman's jacket on
Yes.
the...
A slinky pink cardigan.
Yeah. What's that doing there? Whose is that?
Not Hugh's.
She goes, looks around the house, finds a naked Lisa Rinna.
A naked Lisa Rinna perched on the side of the bathtub, holding what
Literally
looks like to
posing.
be a restaurant menu.
Yeah.
Don't know
Girlie's
what that is.
posing
Yeah.
and waiting for Renee to find her.
Yeah.
So just goes to show that girls suck just as much as guys do.
And I think that's important to know. Let's
That's
not
the
always blame the
message.
man. It's the women too, if not more so.
Yeah. Because
there's
the
someone
men
involved,
aren't
it's probably a
butt-ass
woman.
naked on
Yeah.
the bathtub.
Yeah. Hugh's fully clothed.
Yeah. But no, she was posing waiting to be found.
So true.
Lisa Rinna sucks. It's not Lisa Rinna, but watch the movie. Comment below.
Tell me
That's
it's not Lisa Rinna. It's Lisa Rinna. I'm so serious. I was trying, like, before she was coming up, I was like, oh my god, I hate what she says in the scene. I hate this woman. And you're like, who? Which one? I was like, the one who looks like Lisa Rinna. And then she came up and you said, oh, yeah.
I was like, that's
That one.
Lisa Rinna.
That's Lisa Rinna. Yeah. Hate her.
Something that I wanted to bring up was you had
Yes.
mentioned that there's the Colin Firth and Hugh Grant.
Real life.
Yeah.
Like beef. Yeah. The real life feuding.
I did a little bit of like digging into this because I needed to know.
Is it fake? That is a Donna Hayward tale.
I don't know. I don't think there's actual beef. I don't think that they have any distaste toward each other. I think it's sort of like playful banter of them. Like some shit that honestly you and I would do if we were both in the public eye.
Which
where we would like
let's
talk about exactly.
Yeah.
Right, currently.
Yeah.
Because I found this image online that Hugh Grant had put, and it's in the BAFTAs in one of the presentation rooms.
Uh-huh.
And it literally says, "In loving memory of Colin Firth, not dead yet, but looks it."
So funny.
And then it says sponsored by Hugh Grant.
Shut up. Wait, that's so funny.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's more of like a friendly like poke at each other versus like an
I'm
actual
never believing
fight.
a word my mom says without researching. I shouldn't take things at face value anymore. Because she was like, Hugh Grant and Colin Firth really hated each other, so they loved doing this movie because they could finally just express their true feelings towards each other and battle it out. And I said, oh.
That's some shit that you and I would say
Absolutely.
about that, though.
No,
So,
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
That's
true.
so
Honestly,
funny.
it very well could be.
Maybe
I
Donna's
didn't
got some inside scoop.
That's so true.
I've
didn't
never
dig
had a dinner with the
super hard.
two. Yeah.
Exactly. Me neither. Only one.
Yeah.
So
And it was brief.
It could very well be true. But that's what I found when I did some digging.
That's so funny. Oh, I love them.
No,
Because
I love it.
I'd love
I saw
for
that.
them
I
not
laughed
to
out
be
loud.
feuding. Like, that's crazy.
right? Yeah. I died
If there's
laughing when I
any
saw that
chance for a
plaque.
throuple, I need them to be on good terms, you know?
Do you want a throuple now, or do you want a throuple in like the early 2000s, 90s?
I'd take both, but early 2000s, 90s, obviously.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say
I'd take them now.
that's really good of you.
They both look good.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
How
What else you
dare
got to
you.
say about this movie?
Okay. That was a great point, and I'm so glad you made it. I think I've just oh, I said every thin woman in the movie sucks.
So Renee Zellweger.
Yes.
Honestly, I actually wrote that. I said Hugh might be a dick, but she kind of sucks.
Yeah. Oh, is every boss in England a pervert? Because she works for Hugh Grant, and then she gets a new job at a radio station? No, a television news station. And I love him. He's so funny. Her boss is really funny, but then he does make some like off-color comments in the interview about like wanting to get with her, and I'm like, what's England
that
like?
was the whole Me Too, you know?
True.
Sleeping, the bosses using their power to sleep with.
Yeah, you're right. 2017 hasn't happened yet.
That's not gonna happen anymore. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But they're definitely making jokes about it in 2001. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I hate when both my boyfriends show up to my birthday dinner.
Okay, that's so true. And the fact that there are two birthday dinners
It's crazy. Yeah. I also love this birthday dinner. Colin comes, and Bridget famously just like cannot cook. So she's like trying to cobble this meal together, and then Colin's like, I'll take over, let's make an omelet. And like has dinner with all of her friends, and it's really cute. But then Hugh Grant shows up, and then they have a fist fight on the streets.
Which I did write is one of the most iconic scenes ever.
Incredible. That's cinema.
To It's Raining Men.
Yeah.
And it is just
and
absolutely
it is Raining
incredible.
Men. Yeah.
It is Raining Men, literally.
I love it.
That is like every rom-com has got to have one of those scenes, you know?
So
and
true.
this is that scene for Bridget Jones's Diary.
I also love, if we're going to do lines, so like famous line, Notting Hill, classic, can't go past it, I'm just a girl, standing in front of a boy asking him to love her. Line in this is that, I like you, just how you are. It's so cute. I love. And similarly, like Hugh repeats it to his friends and stuff, and then she repeats it to her friends, and they all like make fun of it. So little parallels in our movies.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I only wrote one line that to me, I was like, this is so romantic.
What?
And it's right at the end when, I mean, spoiler alert, she does end up with Colin Firth.
She does end up with Colin Firth.
But the scene where he is asking her if she's available for Christmases, what a romantic way to like ask somebody out.
It's so cute.
I was like, that is so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Because Colin Firth is like the wholesome one to Hugh Grant's rebellious,
absolute philanderer.
edge,
Yeah,
slimy.
agreed. Sexy.
So it's so like him asking her if she's available for Christmases is so romantic and so on brand for his character.
Absolutely. Also, the soundtrack goes nuts.
I agree. For both Bridget Jones's and Notting Hill, the soundtrack is crazy.
England knows how to score a film.
Okay, let me do a little digging on Bridget Jones's to see if there was any awards that might have. Because speaking of soundtrack, Notting Hill had 2 BAFTA nominations and also won a British Comedy Award and a Brit Award for its soundtrack alone.
Oh my gosh.
So the soundtrack goes crazy.
What are some of the songs on it?
I feel like the most iconic one is the
one that plays a lot.
What's it called? Oh my god, I'm literally blanking. The one that was covered by like a million people.
Yeah.
When You Say Nothing at All,
Yeah.
But there's also like the Ain't No Sunshine from Bill Withers.
So true.
And so that soundtrack goes crazy.
Yeah. Bridget Jones, we've got It's Raining Men. We've got Ain't No Mountain High Enough. We've got Respect. We've got All By Myself. To name a few.
That's
crazy.
That's such good.
Yeah.
All right, Annabel. This is crazy. I'm looking at the awards right now.
Oh my god.
So for Notting Hill, sorry, not Notting Hill, for Bridget Jones Diary.
Yeah.
Renee Zellweger was in fact nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress.
Stop. Really?
Yes.
Honestly, good. As she should.
Yeah.
What year was Chicago? Was it also 2001?
That would have been 2002. Sorry, what did you just say?
What year was Chicago 2001 or 2002?
Oh, I think it was after that, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
2002.
Busy time for her.
No. So she did lose to Halle Berry in Monsters Ball that year.
Disgusting.
But she was nominated for an Oscar.
That's crazy.
As well as a BAFTA, Empire Award, Golden Globe, the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss.
Oh, did it win? Because the kiss is so good at the end in her underwear.
Unfortunately, it did not win.
What won?
MTV Movie Awards for Best Kiss.
Yeah, that's a competitive category.
That's such a good question.
Was it Spider-Man or something? Was it that year?
2002. It would have. Oh my gosh, it was Jason Biggs and Sean William Scott in American Pie 2.
Jesus Christ! Not even an original, a sequel? Are you kidding? That's kind of hot
and then
there.
Colin Firth did not have as many nominations. He did get a BAFTA nomination.
Good.
Hugh Grant got less.
Damn.
And then the screenplay was nominated at the BAFTAs, and the film was nominated at the Golden Globes and the BAFTAs.
Amazing.
So
we've picked good movies.
I know, these are some
critically acclaimed
awarded movies.
Yeah.
I can't believe she was nominated for an Oscar.
That's
crazy. To me.
Honestly, I fully agree. I fully support it. But
no,
wild.
I can totally see it. I truly like. This is genuinely like her.
Bridget
best.
goes on an emotional journey. Some stellar accent work.
Yes.
Yeah.
She put on the most amazing American accent
in every other piece of work she's done.
No, she's convinced me. I think she might be American.
That's insane. Also, like, isn't it a thing, like, if you change your physical appearance, you get nominated for an Oscar?
They love that. Nicole Kidman in The Hours.
Yeah. Renee Zellweger and Bridget Jones. No, I go to The Hours often. Bradley for Maestro, where is it?
I mean, he's got the nomination,
Where's his Oscar?
so we're just waiting for that
We're
Oscar.
waiting for him to bring it
It'll
home.
come, It'll come.
It'll come.
Patience.
I'm waiting.
So, what about this movie is why is this your favorite rom-com?
Such a good question. I mean, I am influenced in that I was shown it young because my mum loves it. We had it on video. She got it for free.
Cute.
When she ordered pizza. The 90s was crazy. Oh, early 2000s was
No,
crazy.
you would get DVDs with random stuff all the time. Yeah.
She ordered pizza and got a video that, like a double video, and half of it was Billy Elliot and half of it was Bridget Jones's Diary.
I love Billy Elliot.
I know you do. So happened to watch it, loved it, showed me, I was obsessed with it. I think I love both the men. Chemistry's insane with both of them.
No, it's like a good triangle.
Yeah, so funny. Love her. She's like relatable and flawed and quirky and fun.
Yeah.
And love her friends. I think just like the dialogue's really funny. It's a great story, great journey. Again, like you probably know how it's going to end up. It's predictable, but in the way that you want it to be.
You need it to be, yeah.
Yeah. And every time I watch it, I can't watch it and not be like happy.
I remember,
Oh, the police.
The police? I remember I was holding off on watching this movie.
I know you were. I've been trying to badge you into watching it for years.
I wasn't doing it to be a dick. I was just holding off on it.
I don't believe it.
I'm doing Trolls to be a dick.
Yeah, you are. My favorite rom-com, Trolls.
I just hadn't seen it, and I was just holding off on it, and one of these nights, like last year, August of last year or something like that?
Not even. I swear it was like recently. I don't know. I will check.
It was definitely like last year.
It was last year
for sure. I don't remember. And I literally loved it. Like I
knew you would. I was like, there's no way, you little Britophile, there's no way in hell you're not going to love this movie. Because it's like English humor as well. It
is. And it's so funny. And
yeah.
I loved it. I just checked. It was August 23rd of last year.
You're right. You're in my goddamn birth month.
I know. I did it for you. That's why.
Thank you. Actually,
You're so welcome.
Yes, because I remember when you came to visit, we were talking about it with Donna, and she was appalled that you hadn't seen it. And then just after you saw her, you watched it. I was like, she got you to watch it, and I've been hassling you for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donna Hayward.
The influence that woman has over me.
I know, it's disgusting. The chokehold she has. Let go, Donna, let go.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say about your rom-com?
I think that's about it. It's sexy. Watch it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we have to go make a bath full of rose petals and
as I do every year.
As I do every single Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And put on Careless Whisper.
Put on Careless Whisper with the I'm Just a Girl scene playing on repeat in the background.
With the I Like You Just As You Are scene playing on repeat.
But yeah, you wanna lead us off?
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to all those who celebrate.
To all those who celebrate, to all those who accept in their religion. And sick. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Let me take a drink first.
Alcoholic.
It's actually a bottle of clear tequila.
Perfect. Mine's gin, so.